Well, hello everyone. This is Nikki from teleworkfromhome.com, and I have an exciting work from home opportunity to share with you on today. Progressive Insurance is hiring. They're hiring full-time work from home customer service representatives, and the pay is $15 to $19 per hour. There's paid training, there's benefits, and they provide the equipment. And so Progressive is looking to get people within a certain area. You have to live within a certain area. And I'm going to share those areas with you because you have to live within 60 miles of these specified areas. And these areas are Detroit, Michigan, Raleigh, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Kansas City, Missouri, Houston, Texas, Las Vegas, Nevada. So this is a great opportunity if you live within these areas, or if you don't, if you know someone who does, it'd be great to share a full-time work from home opportunity to be able to get benefits and just be able to work from home with a corporate company would be an amazing thing for someone looking for that. And so share this if you're not within the area, share with someone who is, and maybe they can apply. And so once again, thinking about the pay rate here, it's $15 to $19 per hour, plus there's an additional 10% shift differential pay when you work evenings or weekends. And with Progressive, there are shifts that begin at 8 a.m., some begin at 11 a.m. So the shifts that do begin at 11 a.m., you more than likely will be going over into the evening because of the latter portion of the shift going over into evening hours, since it's an 8-hour day. And then there's also a requirement of at least one weekend day. So that 10% shift differential pay will come into play if more than likely you work that evening shift, the 11 a.m. going into the evening shift, as well as either Saturday or Sunday, whichever schedule, because I know there's about 6 different schedule options that you can choose. Once again, beginning at 8 a.m., more than likely until 5 p.m., and 11 a.m., more than likely until 8 p.m. And that'll be the same schedule for whichever weekend day that you work. And so now, in addition to that per hour pay, there's also top performance awards and contests with cash payouts. So when you think about performance awards, sales has got to come into that, and most likely handle time on calls, and it's just the metrics in a basic call center that everyone needs to meet whenever they work in a call center. So think about this as well. So not only customer service, but sales that I'm going to be judged on to see if I can get an award or even win a contest with cash payouts in addition to my pay. So be thinking about that. And then there's an annual gain share bonus of up to 16% of your salary. So you're already making a great salary, getting that additional 10% for shift differential pay, and then you're getting a gain share up to 16% of your salary. And that's a bonus program that's based upon the company performance. So as the company, each person works and they do well, the company as a whole, whatever your salary is, up to that 16%, you're going to get that in addition to this wonderful pay rate that they've already mentioned in the job description. And speaking of job description, your job description, should you choose to apply for Progressive and you live within the 60 miles of the areas we mentioned earlier, you're going to be building trust by understanding unique needs of Progressive insurance customers and then resolving those needs effectively and efficiently. So that's active listening, hearing what the caller is stressing the most, and then also looking at their policy to see the status of their policy. I mean, they could be, here needing to add or delete a vehicle, and then adding or deleting drivers from the policies, and then assuring available products are offered. So once again, that's going back to that sales component of this position. And then you may be processing renewals, cancellations, reinstatements, and payments. And so That's going to go hand in hand with meeting the needs of the customer, whatever they're mentioning at the time. And I don't know within the scope of when you see the cancellations if this job description will entail retention or not. If someone's wanting to cancel a policy, or if the policy has lapsed, you're doing your best to reinstate and offer additional products that they may need pertaining to their policy, maybe adding on other types of insurance such as renters or homeowners or whatever the case may be. Just looking at that policy and seeing what's beneficial for this caller who's called in. And also, in addition to this job description and the great pay benefits, there's other benefits as well. So Progressive has paid training, and I know many people are concerned about the training and, am I getting paid? If you've ever worked a contract position or a contract opportunity, most oftentimes a lot of the companies do not pay for training because you're considered your own boss. Well, since you are employed or will be employed with Progressive, if they choose to go further in the hiring process with you, you have that paid training. And it did not in the job description specify that the training would be under the $15. Some places do have where the training will start at a lower amount and then going to the actual working, which they say on the floor, or the actual production phase of it, you'll be getting paid your salary, your starting salary. But it looks as though because Progressive didn't make a distinction that you may be starting with whatever your starting salary is, if it's $15, whatever your experience and however the rate is for you individually, if they choose to hire you, your paid training most likely will begin at that point and continue on. The great benefit is tuition assistance and career development. Think about this. If you're furthering your career, just starting out in insurance, or you're already in insurance and you're excited about learning about this industry that will be around forever because everyone needs insurance for one thing or another, you can get a tuition assistance for helping you. And there are many people that get designations with insurance. There's a general insurance designation. You can learn basics of insurance and get a certificate and get that credential behind your name for insurance. And so they may possibly help you with tuition assistance in that area. Or if you were the type to go to school and go to online school, go to college in a brick and mortar building, however you choose, they have at these institutions and at these universities and colleges risk management. That's a big field people are looking into studying now because some insurance places will not train, some do, and then overall they're going to get you to the basics of insurance. But if you want to go deeper, you can get a risk management degree or risk management classes, and they may just, help you out with that career development. And more than likely, with this being separate, where you see tuition assistance and career development, Progressive themselves may have classes are ongoing to help you grow further in your insurance career and learn about the logistics of insurance. And so there's also diversity and employee resource groups there. And you'll see that in a lot of up and coming companies and many that have been established. They have the employee resource groups. And also there's a wellness program with discounts and rewards. And I know this is a work from home opportunity, but Progressive does boast of their casual atmosphere as far as wearing jeans to work, and many places have an on-site wellness care center where you can go and get your health checked out. And then there's also some places have the gym. So there's a wellness program and discounts and rewards, and how that would apply to a person that works from home. I don't know if you're within that 60 miles, maybe you can go on site to take advantage of some of these benefits. Not really necessarily mentioned in the job description if that would be the case, but maybe because they're requesting that you be within 60 miles of those locations mentioned previously. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the qualifications that Progressive desires. All right, and for qualifications here, Progressive is desiring 1 or more years of college education or relevant work experience. So this work or educational experience must include customer service, sales, and or influencing others. Now, thinking about the customer service, it would be great if you had insurance customer service, would be perfect, wonderful, wonderful. If you don't, It's okay. If you've had experience in a job where you've maybe helped with billing, you've done any type of general inquiry, customer service, just dealing with customers, servicing them, looking at their accounts, you can mention those things within the job application, within the resume, within the scope of your experience. Make it fit towards Progressive. Now, because you may not have that insurance experience. And so you want it to be relevant, as they mentioned. So something pertaining to servicing customers and changing, making modifications to the account of a customer. And then sales. Sales is so different from customer service. Sales very much has to do with influencing others. You're offering things that many times are geared towards a customer's account, maybe some past purchasing history, or even some suggestions that companies have. So Progressive may have some things that you would need to maybe suggest. Possibly homeowners insurance, possibly renters insurance, something like that. But if you have experience in sales of any kind where you've influenced others, you've cross-sold, you've upsold, and you've offered different things to customers, having to use negotiation, possibly persuasion, and meeting the needs of a customer, please by all means include that. And if you've ever worked in any job, you're familiar with customer service, you're familiar with sales. At some point in time, you do upsell and you do offer additional things. And so please put that in your resume, in your application. And this is relevant because it's within the scope of assisting customers. You know that if you've ever in a call center environment, there's fast pace and changing things all the time. So there's a changing environment and you need to be ready for that, especially if you're working from home because you're not in the office. So be ready to keep current on what's going on in the Progressive work culture. And so know that it's ever changing. Insurance is ever changing. Any industry is ever changing. And being able to adjust and be resilient with those changes is a big plus. Fast paced, you know how multitasking has a lot to do with that. Knowing that you may be getting back to back calls, you may need to have multiple screens open, and then managing your time efficiently. So if you're going through those screens and looking at ways where you can efficiently serve the customer, get something done a lot faster by going to this screen here, and while you have that screen there, go to this screen and just work multiple screens in order to be able to effectively meet that metric that they will most likely have for this particular position, because it is a call center position. Even though you're from home, they will have those metrics that you need to meet those performance awards that they mentioned earlier. And making sure that you effectively communicate verbally. You want to be on the phone and being professional, knowing that these are callers. You are the voice of Progressive, so you want to be very professional. And also with writing, you may be writing emails, you may be writing reinstatement letters, you may be writing within the company to internal workers at Progressive. So being able to just effectively communicate verbally and in writing is a huge plus. And then computer skills. Computer skills is your overall knowing how to manage your computer systems that they've provided for you. If you've worked from home, you're familiar with knowing how to maintain your computer, knowing how to maintain clearing out cache, cookies, all those type things. But computer skills as well as working in Outlook, maybe Windows, whatever those type skills are that pertain to working, you need to be up to date on that and knowing how to effectively do that, because you're not going to have your coworker or your supervisor to turn to and say, hey, come look at my computer right in the next cubicle or right next to you, or calling their extension for them to come over and look. Now, you may have other opportunities to have maybe a tech view your computer by having them to have you share your desktop, maybe something like that. But computer skills as a whole, just making sure that you are current on your computer skills. What is preferred by Progressive is that you've had previous remote work experience. That would be wonderful if you worked from home before, but it's okay if you haven't. That's a preferred thing. And if you have, please by all means make that known. Make that known on your application, make it known on your resume. And if you've had contact center experience, another word for call center experience would be wonderful if you would mention that as well. And to what degree, how long have you worked there? What were your tasks? What did you do from home if you worked from home before? Even if it was a contract position, if you have that experience of handling calls efficiently, handling calls where you multitask, where you use multiple screens, and having a call where you've had to use sales, whatever it is, please include that because Progressive is wanting that. That's a preferred, so that means that's an added bonus for that. And also their work from home office details. So, have a designated workspace. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a complete office. You may be just starting out, or you may have been a experienced work from home agent for years, and you just have a designated workspace within a certain room. Well, as long as it is free from noise and other distractions and allows for dedicated focus. I would not recommend anyone having an office with a view of their refrigerator or a view of their washer and dryer or even the dishwasher because your mind's going to go to, hey, I need to eat. Or what am I going to eat today? And the person on the phone is just talking and you're thinking, okay, to wash clothes, wash the dishes. So you want to be free from those distractions that may kind of have you wandering off a bit. That also includes the dogs barking in the background, anybody that may be in the home at the same time that you're working. Just knowing that it's free from background noise of any kind. And Progressive provide a maybe a headset for you to use. And if they don't provide the headset, I know they're providing other equipment. Think of or consider investing into a noise canceling headset. That'll help you if you do have a little bit of background noise, possible maintenance people working on the yard, landscaping, those type things that can be picked up. Please consider investing into that. And then also a remote office internet connection. It should be via DSL or cable modem with minimum speeds of 1 megabit per second download and zero point 0.5 megabits per second upload. Those aren't very high speeds, so your basic internet service should suffice for this. And you want to make sure that your computer or your router that it's physically connected to the modem by cable. So Ethernet cable, cabled internet, no wireless connection. It would even be beneficial for you to disable the wireless connection if you're going to be working from home on a specific computer. And I'm thinking that Progressive is providing a thin line client computer for you. So just disable that feature or whatever Progressive recommends, do that. But I know with work from home, from my experience, I disable the wireless connection just in case my Ethernet cable happens to disconnect from my computer. However, it would do that. If it did, I would be made aware by an alert rather than my wireless kicking in and then me being addressed with being on wireless while I was working. You'd rather just have that feature disabled. And so all of the Progressive hardware you receive needs to be connected to a surge protector. You've seen the surge protectors. There's this power strip that has multiple outlets and connecting that you can put in different cords. And that just protects you from if there's surges in the electricity where it may damage Progressive's equipment, and then just surges in general where it may even just fluctuations may cause performance um, delays or even spikes may cause some different functionality problems with the equipment or working in general. So make sure you have a surge protector. You want to look online for those and just go ahead and invest in that. And so that's something that'd be good to have anyway. Now we're going to talk about how to apply to Progressive Insurance's position that they've mentioned. So to apply, you want to go to either progressive.com and choose the career link, and you can type in the keywords field work from home customer service. And you can type that in and you'll see all of the locations and any other work from home that they may have available that you might be interested in. I've also included it at teleworkfromhome.com. and it's going to feature a job description directly from Progressive. These are their words, they're describing it. So all of Progressive's job descriptions detailed, everything we've gone over in the PowerPoint so far. And it's going to have a link to the Progressive Careers website. So I've included that on the work from home opportunities page of teleworkfromhome.com. And then you'll choose under the categories link. There's an area there that has different categories of types of work from home, and Progressive listed, and it's in alphabetical order. So Progressive's more towards the lower end of that page. And so you want to just check out that job description, and then also just check Progressive Careers out in general, and check out their web page in general. The application process is done strictly through Progressive. As I mentioned, I have a link on teleworkfromhome.com, but it's going to take you directly to Progressive. And you want to make sure during the application process that you upload a resume and a cover letter. Very important. Sure, you're filling out an application and it may say exactly what the resume is saying. Please still include a resume and a cover letter. Yes, cover letters are very important as well, because you're going to give a brief description of why you believe you are qualified for this position that Progressive is offering. Do you have the job specifics that they're asking for? And you want to include that on the cover letter. And you also want to prepare yourself for at least 60 minutes of uninterrupted time to take this assessment. Just set aside the time. And you may need scratch paper, you may need a calculator, I don't know, but make sure you set aside the time and be prepared. Just be prepared that you need this time, at least 60 minutes, to take this assessment and get yourself ready. Many times assessments are behavioral questions, things that you really can't prepare for as far as studying, but you may possibly want to have the scratch paper just to write down some things. I know the best test takers reread things to make sure, and then take notes and try to word them in their own way so they can understand what's going on and what's being asked of them. So prepare and set aside at least 60 minutes. And be sure to view Progressive's interview tips located on their website. They've had the STAR method mentioned on the interview tips area. I'm going to include the link here for the Progressive's interview tips page, and I may also include it on teleworkfromhome.com on the job description posting that I have for Progressive. You want to look at that. That STAR method is very important. It's the situation that you were in, the task that you were supposed to perform at that point, and then what was the resolution. I didn't give all of the STAR, but you want to take a moment to just view that and then give specific scenarios. If you are to interview with Progressive, make sure that you've gone over just situations that you've had in your work experience in the past that you can answer specifically, specific situations that you remember. How did I handle this caller when they were irate, or what area did I go above and beyond for this caller? You want to have specific scenarios that you remember and prepare for that. By all means, do a mock interview. If you've had 20 years of insurance experience, wonderful, but you still also want to prepare. You don't want to say, oh, I got this. I've been working for insurance 15, 20 years. I've been doing customer service 15, 20 years, sales 15, 20 years. I can just go in and wing it. Don't. You want to prepare, do a mock interview. Even if you were to sit at home, have those scenarios to yourself, and you don't have anyone to practice with, just go over and say those situations that you handle using the STAR method until you can really just be able to express those succinctly to the interviewer, whether it be by digital interview or by phone. But always, always prepare. Always prepare. I want to thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and watching today. I really want to encourage you to go to teleworkfromhome.com for more work from home opportunities. I want to encourage you to stay encouraged in your job search. Literally, working from home job search and job search in general, they're jobs within themselves. Don't get discouraged if you don't hear back from employers or any type of work from home opportunities that you've applied for. Keep going. keep applying, stay encouraged. If you really want to work from home, you got to work hard for it. You got to search, you got to keep applying, you got to take those assessment tests, you got to stay positive, and you got to just continue to look for legitimate work from home opportunities. And that's why I want you to just share this post. If you know someone who's interested in Progressive Insurance or just interested in working from home in general, share teleworkfromhome.com with them. It has been a pleasure sharing Progressive Insurance opportunity with you today. And this is Nikki. I'll have more videos for you in the future. Everyone stay encouraged. Have a great day. And thank you so much for watching. And be sure to visit teleworkfromhome.com.